What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? C1122 Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy Television. And I am out here at a cemetery today, and I wanted to give you a reminder. You know, there's all this stuff about flags and stuff like that, and finding, there's so much, stuff about flags, and how they talk about the American flag, it's like destroying the flag and blah 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 blah, whatever. But I want to give a reminder to everybody out there. You see these flags right here? These flags right here that are put on these gravestones represent men who fought for freedom under these flags against the northern aggression. And I'm going to tell you something, man. You have to remember there was probably close to, if not more than, 700,000 people that died for this flag, for freedom, against the northern aggression. And this is your reminder that don't forget that these people gave the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. And they were brave men, young men. I'll give you an example. This one right here, 1st Florida Cavalry. He was born in 1848, died in 1900. Wasn't very old. This one was died in 1871. And these other ones over here, the headstones, there really isn't nothing much more than just a rock, basically. Nothing even really saying their name or anything like that. Like even this one over here, this one, there was some stuff carved on it, but I mean, it's just so old that you can't even see the wording on it anymore. I mean, I assume there was something carved on there, but like I said, you have to remember there was a lot of people that died for freedom, and just because it wasn't this flag that they were fighting under doesn't make them less important. And like I said, there was probably close to, if not more, than 700,000 men. And then that's not even including all the innocents that didn't want to be engaged in the fighting. Like this one right here is a he was in the infantry, 1837 to 1899. Not very old people. I mean, and this one right here, I can't even see the, let's see here. 1867 to 1896. Here's a few more over here. These were in the, this was the Florida Militia Indian Wars, 1835 to 1855. Not very old at all. Stephen, this one 1833 to 1861. He was in the Florida Militia Indian Wars. This one right here, Florida Militia, First West Florida Militia Indian Wars. Died in 1872. This is his wife. Died the same year. Or no, actually, I take that back. Died 1839. Born 1810, died 1839. The daughter, 1772. Oh, that was the daughter of Thomas. Born in 1772 to 1835. Wife of Stephen was 1786 to 1872. There's James right here, 15 Cavalry. Born in 1839 to 1862. Young people. Young John, he was 15th Regiment, Florida Cavalry, 1829 to 1892, or not 1898. Lorana, born 1830 to 1910, and you see the flags. You know, like I said, I just want to have a reminder when it comes down to people talking about flags and all that stuff. And I have a personal thing about these. Now, I also, don't hold an allegiance to any flag. But I will tell you, man, the people that were fighting for freedom down here in the South, and you can believe the Northern Aggression's propaganda or not, but the people that fought under this flag was fighting for our freedom down here in the South against the Northern Aggression. And to me, I think it would be, they have to be respected for what they were trying to do and never forgotten. Because like I said, I've got family actually buried out here that fought under that flag, the Confederate battle flag against the Northern Aggression. And I can't say it enough. It was a Northern aggression against us here down there in the South. And technically, when it comes down to it, we out here in the South, we won majority of the battles in that conflict. But the propaganda has been propagated to us over the years that the South did not win the whole thing, and the Union took hold. So, this is just my reminder. Don't forget, and don't forget about the people that, that did the ultimate sacrifice for our future generations. And I think the same thing when it comes down to it now. We cannot forget about the people that are fighting tooth and nail against the very system that is trying to eliminate our freedom, by, infringing on our Second Amendment, infringing on our First Amendment, practically ignoring our Fourth Amendment, You know, these are the things that we were led to believe, that we have these protections under the Constitution, when the very system that was put in place to protect and ensure those rights are the ones that we continuously have to fight against. We are being infiltrated. Well, we've been this way for a long time. We've been infiltrated and occupied by a communist type of a mentality that are in government. And that has to be eradicated, because communism, socialism, democracy, fascism, Leninism, Marxism, all that is antithetical to America and what it was supposed to be, and what it was historically supposed to be. So any of that type of mentality needs to be eradicated from America. If you want to live in a democracy, socialism, or even communism, if you want to live in that, you need to get out of America and go live in a country that offers that. All right? We in America are not what the rest of the world is. The rest of the world's already bowed down to the idea of democracy, socialism, fascism, Marxism, Leninism, and communism. They've already bowed down to that. We in America are not supposed to be any of that. And that is not what this country is. I think that we as Americans must fight against this type of tyranny in this nation and kick it out. Unfortunately, for a few generations, we've been propagandized to think that these systems, other than the constitutional republic that we were supposed to have, is what we should be doing. And the thing is that is their propaganda that they have infiltrated and infected America with. We're not free people if we've got a governing body that does everything that they want without our consent, without our knowledge, and then also being forced upon us at the point of a gun. We're not free people. And that's what these people gave the ultimate sacrifice of their lives to ensure that future generations had, is freedom. And that's exactly what we are supposed to be here in America. It's free people, not being ruled by this thing calling itself a government. Because, I mean, if you actually get down to the technical of it, we don't have a government. We've got a corporation that is putting all of us into a corporate contractual obligation, and they've subverted what is this country is supposed to be. You know, we you know, when this country was founded, when it was first set up, we were under common law, and we don't see common law in the courts. You know, when it comes down to even criminal stuff, like if you go into court for some kind of a criminal charge or something like that, if you were to ask the judge if this was a civil case or a criminal case, and they say it's criminal, the Constitution only allows 2 jurisdictions under criminal, for a criminal type of scenario. And if it's not common law, it's a statutory, admiralty, maritime law, which is not the law of the land. It is the law of the water. That is international law. And that's what they have convinced or hoodwinked everybody into believing that is what we have. And they've done it by force, through coercion, through, consent. And, the consent is because we've been hoodwinked. But they've done it through coercion, consent, and compulsion and force at the point of a government gun. The corporation that we are under right now is willing to go scorched earth on us if we decide to abolish or alter, which is stated in our Declaration of Independence. If we decide as a people to abort, basically abolish or alter the government as it stands when it becomes tyrannical, they will use scorched earth to continue the continuity of their system. These people right here knew what they had to do, and they were willing to die for the cause of freedom. A lot of people will have this belief system when it comes down to the propaganda that is propagated over the years of what the stance is, the people that fought under this flag down here in the South. And you got to understand that without going into the without getting into the whole crux of the issue when it comes down to the left-right scenario, you have to understand that the Democratic Party have always been the aggressors from the beginning. The Democratic Party are also if you want to believe the idea the whole Civil War was over slavery, no, that was not the reason. That happens to be a political point that Lincoln brought in because he needed the support, and so the political point was to use slavery. And that's not true, because honestly, the Democratic Party, especially the North had more slaves than the South did. The true reason is because the North was overtaxing us down here in the South, where we were doing majority of the work, and they wanted to tax everything that we were doing down here. And that was one of the main reasons, one of the main true reasons why the war was started, because of the aggression of the North. And it's basically the same thing over again. We've got the aggression of the federal government against we the people in America, trying to foist their rule on all of us. See, the federal government didn't create this nation. We the people, and individually, and each individual state created this nation, not the federal government. And the federal government doesn't grant us rights. The Constitution doesn't even grant us rights. Our rights that are endowed to us by the Creator existed long before the Constitution was ever written. So the government has no lawful right to suspend our natural rights, or regulate, or diminish, infringe, whatever word you want to use in that place, those natural rights. but they think that they have the right to do so because they have the government gun to do it with. I just want you guys to remember the amount of people, like I said, just on the Confederate side, close to 700,000 men. And that's probably, actually, that number is probably a little low. But close to 700,000 men died for that reason of freedom. To ensure freedom for the future generations. When the corporation calling itself the government is willing to use scorched earth against us. The question is that each of us need to ask ourselves, what are we willing to sacrifice? What are we willing to do to ensure freedom for the future generations in this country, in this nation? Like I said, some of us back in the day sacrificed our lives. For me, this flag means something. And to me, this flag means more to me than this little flag over here. Alright? This flag means way more to me. It means something. I have no allegiance to this flag, but it means much more to me than this one does. This has all been propagated and set up by a fraudulent and traitorous people, and it's being propped up through violence and force, coercion, compulsion, lies, theft. And they do it all the time. Remember, everybody, the truth.